Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a lovely day. It is really hot here in Texas per the norm, so if you hear the fan in the background, I apologize, but I live in an apartment complex and I live on the top and it's very, very hot. So I'm here today to show you guys really quick because I need to send this off. This is a surprise, by the way. My swap partner has absolutely no idea that I made this, so yay! But I wanted to document this. I made a mini companion journal that will go along with the Garden Grimoire junk journal that I just showed you guys a few days ago. And I really wanted her to have some extra writing space because she did inform me that she does write in her journals. And because I highly decorated the larger journal, I just wanted to make a little mini for her to have. But I also wanted to incorporate more of the spell book type, the more grimoire side of it, because I didn't really do that in the main journal. So I wanted to have this. This is like a little mini spell book, if you wish. So I used the same fabric. It's a faux leather that's embossed with these floral and flourish designs. I used the same fabric to cover the mini as I did the large, because it's a companion. Is one signature, and I've got a little mini charm here with a large brass feather, some glass beads, a little dragonfly and such. The closure is hand-dyed sari silk. And on the front, I have a Tim Holtz book plate, and I have named this little guy Something Magical. And I did not glue this down, and I would have asked her if she wanted it permanent, but like I said, this is a surprise. She has no idea. So I did not glue it down, and that is because maybe she would want to change the title or, take it off. It's up to her. So on the inside of the cover, I've just lined it with some thick, mixed, it's got it's hard to explain. It's a muslin, but it's got these little flecks of other types of fabrics in it, I guess. Maybe it's like a recycled type thing, not really sure. So here I've just put a piece of coffee dyed large lace across the top, and I've lightly glued these feathers so that, like I said, if she wants to take the book plate off or change the title, it'll be easy for her to do that. So I've made a little pocket here with a miniature coin envelope, and I've notched it on the inside so that it's easy to pull it's just a little sheet of decorated writing paper. It's this that I folded in half, and it comes from one of these little guys. I believe I got this at Tuesday Morning, but it's just a little notepad keeper with different types of note paper and then some sticky notes. So I used a few of these pages throughout the journal for extra writing space. And then tucked in the pocket, I have a miniature glassine bag with some stamped pieces of muslin. And then this journal card, I've backed with some coffee dyed ledger paper and sewn around the edges. And the paper collection that I used for the mini is Graphic 45's Rare Oddities collection. I have been hoarding this, and I believe this is an 8x8 pad, but I've been hoarding this because I didn't know what I knew I wanted to make something with it, but I didn't know what, and I thought, it's kind of perfect for this type of thing because it's got, mentions of potions and spells and things like that. So that's the main paper that I've used for this mini journal. Now there is one sheet from the Nature Sketchbook collection in the front. Just an image here. Some coffee dyed computer paper. Here I've got a little pocket tuck with one journal card. This is some lined list paper. Here we've got the definition for spell. This is a journal card, and I have sewn this. It's like a little teeny tiny tip-in, but it's a stamp on some muslin that I've sewn onto the journal card, so you can flip it up. Here I have made a list of plants, herbs, and their secret names. So when you hear witches making their spells, and they're like 1 eye of newt and 4 goblin's fingers. Well, I found a list online that tells you the code names, if you will, for each of these little words that they use in the spell. So we've got an eagle is garlic, a man's bile is turnip sap, bat's wings, holly, a bear's foot is lady's mantle, beggar's buttons is burdock, and on and on and on. So there are 1, 2, and 3 pages, and also the rest is in the back. So here we have a pocket made out of book page. It's a small journaling card, and I used this because it says medicinal flowers in French. Thought that was cute. And here I've just sewn a little tab with a piece of stamped muslin, and I backed it with a piece of tea bag. And that just tucks into this pocket. And there's a little mini journal card. It says Wing of Moth. And there's also a tuck in the back. And I've used a few of these as well. I cut these out from some 12 by 12 pattern paper, and it's illegible, but it looks like someone has practiced writing spells or something like that. That was my idea with these little guys. So I just tore the edges and just dressed them up. There's a little feather and some cheesecloth. Some writing paper, lined writing paper with some ephemera glued on. Here is a book page that was first coffee dyed, and then I decoupaged a napkin onto it here, and then I made a little flap. Here's another one of the tabs made from muslin and tea bag. Sewn it on the edge, and then inside, on the back side, I have gessoed the back so that it can be written on, just some pieces of ephemera glued to the bottom here. Coffee dyed lined paper, ledger paper, computer paper. Here's one of the sticky notes, and I just glued it on. Here is half of a larger coin envelope. I've just added some little elements here, and then another perpetual calendar that I got from Dolly. Thank you, Dolly. So I made 4 of these miniature booklets to go inside. I had some Halloween paper with images of book fronts on them, and I thought, wow, that's perfect. So this one is Newbold's Book of Potions. It says 1879. And so this is craft packing paper that I've made the covers from, and then on the inside I've used some of these small cutouts from the Rare Oddities, the graphic 45 paper. This one says brews and potions, and there are different types. It talks about different types of herbs and plants, and there's just coffee dyed papers, more little images. These are bottles of potions, if you will. And then I've sewn all 4 of them. I've sewn together on the sewing machine. Some more images, more plain paper so that she can write in these. Brews and potions. So that's book number 1, Book of Potions. And the little cutouts, I tried to match them up with the title of the book. So that just slips in there. Coffee dyed paper. There's some parchment paper. And here, I need to repair this page, but here I've got another printout from an encyclopedia or biology book I have, I'm not sure. But this is a list of the monocot flower families. And then on the back side, there is this little flip-up pocket with a tag, and I believe this is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. The little tuck behind. So that just flips down, and then here on the next page we have the list of die cuts. And if you turn this over, I have folded it so that it can be pulled out and she can see the full list. If you're a plant geek like me, you'll know what that is. Some ledger paper. Here I've got a craft envelope that I've basically just folded in half so that and it's upside down so it makes 2 pockets. Just got some little journal cards, another little tab. And then on the other side I've notched the top where I cut the bottom of the envelope to make a pocket. It's just one of the extra journaling cards from the larger journal. And I've added a fabric tab at the top. coffee dyed paper. Here is a copy from the encyclopedia with some mushrooms. It's another tab, another definition for flower. And it's cool because it's got a little diagram on it. Some coffee dyed paper. Here's a pocket on some of this lined project notes paper that I found. And this is a little, it's a little section from a book I have about, I found it somewhere. It's about different celestial things. So this one says the moon, a celestial gardener, and it talks about how the moon affects gardening and times of year and things like that, and I thought it was neat. And so I had this extra vellum tag with leaves inside from the larger journal. Excuse me, lined paper, ledger paper, coffee dyed paper with a flap. Here's a pocket I made from Tim Holtz ephemera. It's the periodic table of elements. Just got a tag with a decoupage napkin. And then here's the second small book. It's called Chantry's Apothecary. So we've got medicinal herbs, just random coffee dyed scraps of paper, medicinal plants, candy carrots, little images from the paper collection of the potion bottles. This one says herbology. So that one is Chantry's Apothecary. Here I have made a little seed packet. It's the front is just a printout from Pinterest, and then I glued it to some paper to make it into a pocket, and it's just got extra coffee dyed writing paper inside. So I just paper clipped it with this butterfly paper clip. And then on the back side, the paper clip also helps to hold this, and I forget what these are called, but you're supposed to put them in like file folders to hold your pages in. And there's just a couple of sheets of scrap paper here. And so the paper clip helps to hold that down so it's easier to turn the pages. Coffee dyed paper. There's some green paper that I've done some stenciling and added a little piece of ephemera and a tab at the bottom. Tracing paper, coffee dyed paper. This is one of the newsprint bags that I've folded and made a side pocket here. Just pieces of ephemera and a journaling card that I've backed with ledger paper. On the other side, I cut the top of the bag so that it makes a long pocket, and inside is extra pieces of ephemera that I have printed out that didn't get used in the larger journal. And then here we have the definition for spellbind and spellbound. Tucked in this ephemera pocket, just some writing space, and a journaling card for Toe of Frog. Because, you have to have that. You have to have that for a lot of spells. It's important. Definition for leprechaun, coffee dyed paper. Here's some, one of the green dyed doilies that I made. Here's a top tuck where I glued some ephemera. There's a feather and cheesecloth with just some extra writing paper. And I actually sewed that to the top. Here, got coffee dyed paper here, paper clipped to this page is a little envelope that I've made from coffee dyed dictionary paper. And I like to go over the entire surface front and back with the matte fluid medium. So I've decoupaged a napkin on the front, and inside is just some coffee dyed graph paper. Just paper clip that to the page. This is the middle of the signature. It's another piece of ephemera. It's the Dictionary of Gardening. I've sewn a little tab here. Coffee dyed paper. This is another ephemera tuck that I've sewn on. I thought this was funny. I think she'll get a kick out of that. Nature's gift for women. Just a little journaling card. Another mini one with a tab. Other side of the doily, more coffee dyed paper. Here is a little tuck that I've sewn together with cheesecloth and another feather, and this is the third book. The title is Horticulture and Botanical Dictionary. And so in this one I just added, I've added a bunch of pictures of the different animals from that paper collection. And that just slips in this little pocket. the other side of the bag. I've made a tuck at the top. And then inside of the bag is another piece of copied ephemera. More copy dyed paper, another stamp from April, tracing paper, definition for apian, an apiary. Here is another book page pocket. This Patricia Veramontes is where I learned how to make these. The tab here and a piece of stamped muslin. It's another Tim Holtz piece of ephemera. And then this is from some Tim Holtz paper. Just thought I'd add it because it's got all of the little different insects on there. Copy dyed paper. Here's another ephemera tuck with a scrap piece of paper, and then another one of these. Copy dyed paper. Some images of flowers, lined paper. There's another tuck. April also sent me this stamp. It's of a magic ball. Of course, you have to have that too for spells, you guys. Sorry, I am so out of frame. Another journaling card, backed with copy dyed ledger paper. Another one of these, mushrooms. Another one of these guys. Here's the other side of that envelope with a a stamped tag that Dolly sent. Another little pocket at the bottom. Here is raven feathers with another tab. Ledger paper. This is the other side of the page with the monocot flowers listed, and so I glued a index card on here that I had decoupaged some paper onto with the a map of the world, and then paper clipped to it is another one of these. More coffee dyed paper, parchment paper, just some ephemera glued to the bottom. Here's the other side of that larger coin envelope, and it's just got coffee dyed paper inside. More coffee dyed paper, ledger papers, a little stamp. Here's the definition of, sorry I can't see, flower. It's another tab. This is the other side of the book page where I decoupaged the napkin onto. Lined paper. It's another little pocket, and this holds the fourth book, and this is called a yellow-bellied sapsucker. I thought that was funny. I don't know why. The last book is the abbreviated book of plant specimens. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on. Inside, herbology, more images from the Graphic 45 collection, rare oddities, plenty of extra paper for writing. And see, just tucks right in this pocket here. Some green paper. Here is a side tuck where I've layered more cheesecloth and a feather. Just some ephemera from Pinterest. Another journaling card. Backed with ledger paper. And here is the other half of the list of plant and herb code words. There's a pocket here on a coffee dyed piece of paper with some Tim Holtz ephemera. And I thought this was cute. Clover Farm Store, it's a receipt. I've backed that with some coffee dyed paper. Last page, I have paper clipped here, a glassine envelope with just a bunch of different little tickets inside. Just thought it was something, a little fun element to add. And on the back cover, it's another one of the pockets that I sewed together. I made it from coffee dyed dictionary paper where I've decoupaged a napkin onto it, and it makes two pockets. So there's this extra writing paper, and then another piece of ephemera tucked in the back with a tab. Backed it with some lined coffee dyed paper, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Bye.